Today we're doing something that we hardly ever do. We're taking a little road trip. And the reality of doing a little road trip when you drive an electric vehicle is that you have to stop to charge. Lots. And you have lots of time to sit and twiddle your thumbs. But when you were driving through British Columbia, Canada, you get to enjoy the views of these stunning mountains. So, hello, welcome to the vlog. Today, we're driving to Kamloops. So for our first pit stop, our first charging stop, Dan is working hard, editing away. Naturally, we got some snacks. You gotta get snacks when you're doing a road trip no matter what. So we got water. One of my favorite snacks ever. If I am snacking, I'm going in on hard bite chips. You guys, these are so good. Not my preferred flavor. I actually can't remember what the flavor is called right now, but I've never tried the spicy dill. Spicy dill pickle, delicious. Then we got some various beef jerkies, obviously, and then our breath is gonna be smelling delicious, so we got some gum. I've got my little protein coffee to go. We took a little pee, and then we're gonna continue on our journey. Listen, guys, I don't recommend any level of road tripping in an electric vehicle. We have stopped again to charge in Merritt, British Columbia, in case you wanted an update, but views, absolutely glorious. But because it's winter, it's cold, and you're driving a lot of uphill, the battery's just draining before our very eyes. So we're almost there. Good morning from Kamloops. I just got dressed and did a super quick little makeup. I needed to put myself together a little bit. And we got in last night. We were so tired when we got here. We went and met everyone for dinner, which was really exciting. But we're actually here in Kamloops for the day to meet with Dawn, the owner and our trainer from DIYBODY. And this is something that we've been meaning to do for so long. We have been talking about it forever. We're like, we really want to come visit you guys. We want to come see their beautiful new house, come hang out. And we've been talking about it for so long. It's so funny that we made it happen in the winter. Would I have preferred to come to Kamloops in the summertime? Yes. But I've never been here before, which is so funny. But all in all, it was a 5-hour drive. One of the very few downsides to having an electric vehicle, I'll say. Anyway, so we crashed last night. Me and Dan both had crowns on our sleep scores this morning. We absolutely passed out. It was beautiful. But basically, we're just going to be spending the day with Don and his fam, training in the DIYBODY gym, doing a little Hot Girl Winter update, having a little chat, and we're really excited. Gonna be a fun day. We're gonna begin our day by going and meeting Don and the fam for breakfast. We're staying at the beautiful Fairfield Inn in Kamloops. Honestly, we were talking about the bed. Guys, the bed is just like plain, hard, nice, had the best sleep ever, but we also had the AC blasting. Like, it was cold in the room, and I think that really helped because usually Dan and I get really, really hot at night. But I fear that it was one of those sleeps that was so good that just leaves you like really groggy. Like, I need a coffee stat. Can you tell? Smells that fresh Kamloops air. It freezes your nostrils. I don't know what accent that was. Don't touch me. Good morning. Oh, it is so warm. Okay, we just made it. We're going to Hello Toast. It looks like there's a little wait, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll get a table. It's cute. The little downtown strip was cute. We're like staying at the top of the hill, and then you just drive down, and here we are. You guys, that breakfast was so good. Me and Dan got the sweet potato bowls, topped with chipotle aioli. Oh my, I'm absolutely stuffed. We literally have to go work out with Dawn later. I'm in a food coma. Anyway, we're walking the main strip. We're gonna get some steps in, go on our little fart walk after our beautiful breakfast bowl, and see, oh look at that. Shopping and restaurant district. Cute. There's an old courthouse. Oh, you wanna go get married again? We are back. Picked up some things to bring over to their house for dinner tonight, but this afternoon, early afternoon at 1 p.m. we are going and doing a workout at the DIYBODY gym. I'm nervous, you guys. I am, and I'm also now just so stuffed with this freaking breakfast bowl, lol. So I wanted to film a little bit with Don, obviously, and like ask him some questions and whatnot, so I just posted on my Instagram saying, oh, if anyone has any questions for Don, DIYBODY, anything about the program, let us know. So I'm just gonna go through and screenshot a few of them and get them ready to take over, and we're filming and everything. And I totally, guys, I was packing in such a blur yesterday. I don't know why I do this to myself, but our house is like totally under renovation and we moved everything out of our bedroom. Everything is all over the place. I don't know, I was just so scatterbrained, and it's like really unrelated, but I totally forgot to bring my hairspray and my little brush. So I just hate it when I have so many of my baby hairs flying into my face when I'm working out. It drives me crazy. Did I also just forget to pick anything up at the mall? Yes. So right now I'm using my brow freeze gel. This is like the most expensive updo I'll ever do in my life. But it does make such a difference to just get all the baby hairs slicked back. So if you're in a pinch and you happen to remember nothing except for your brow gel, you can use that in your hair. Little mascara, I've got the brows on, put some lip liner on, bring in a gloss. Good to go. I'm so nervous. I just had a nervous poo for bringing Hot Girl Winter friendly donuts, obviously. This is for the pump, right? Hello!
Hey, I already know. And you bought donuts.
It's for the pump. For the pump. Guys, say hello to Dawn.
Hey guys.
Dawn and dogs. You guys are about to witness DIYBODY HQ, the home gym of all home gyms. Dawn's absolute magical land, the secret door to the DIYBODY gym. I feel like before we actually start the workout, we need to discuss how Dawn and Dan met, because right now we are in what is it? Garage Gym Builds? What was it?
Garage Gym Build is
Garage
the Instagram
Gym Builds.
name. We came across each other just by being involved in the home gym community. Dan came across my home gym in a Reddit post, and from there, he was kind of like putting pieces together. He's seen DIYBODY a couple times before. I think we have a mutual friend, and then he's like, oh, well, that's weird. I've seen that before. After that, like, you had reached out because Dan had recommended, hey, maybe check out their program. He knows somebody that's been a coach for us before. And then, yeah, you reached out and I was like, wait, who is this person? But yeah, like, I guess the way that we eventually started working together is through Dan because of our love for gym equipment.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool, like, how we eventually connected that way. And like, thank God I, love spending money on gym equipment.
Yeah. And even before you guys built this, before you had DIYBODY HQ, Dan was always frothing over your home gym. So I think it's very serendipitous that we are now here. We're going to be taken through a workout.
Yep.
Bodybuilder extraordinaire, taking us feeble peasants through the home gym routine. Are we done? After the first move? Ooh. I got weak lats. So you guys, I'm so excited. We just finished our workout, got taken through the Dawn special, if you will. And I'm so excited because I've been working with DIYBODY for over 2 years now.
Yep.
And we only just met over the summer for the first time. And this is the first official time that we have worked out, and Dawn is making his YouTube debut.
Yep.
So thank you so much for allowing us into your home.
Glad you guys could make it.
And we just asked you guys some questions. Honestly, like, I think over the last 2 years, I've talked so much about my experience with DIYBODY and working with a trainer, and obviously had my transformation before and after, whatever. And I think there's just still a lot of questions that people love to ask all the time. So thank you so much for taking the time to answer some of your questions. We've got a list I'll be referring to here. Everybody, be loving and kind, and welcome Dawn to the YouTube family.
Let's get into it.
So before we dive into the questions, we'll just have Dawn kind of tell us about DIYBODY and what you do and what you offer people when they sign up.
Awesome. So yeah, DIYBODY, we do online fitness coaching. We work with clients worldwide. We help people with general health issues. Weight loss is a huge one. People that want to get into bodybuilding competitions, and just anybody that wants to, look and feel good. We've been around since 2017, and yeah, we've got clients literally in like 22 different countries. Big thanks to you. Like before, we started off as a small business locally here in Kamloops, and then we've just grown over time. But it's been about 7 years, and we've got 10 coaches on our team. And yeah, like we get to help people with their fitness, and it's like a dream come true. We wanted to show people like these are the tools, like give you the knowledge to do it yourself, for you to be self-sufficient by the time you're done the program. We didn't just want to, put people on meal plans and just have them follow a meal plan for 8 to 16 weeks. And then when they're done the program, they don't know what to do. So we wanted to educate throughout our program. And that's the whole meaning behind DIYBODY.
If someone was to start, 3 to 5 things was one of the questions. 3 to 5 daily goals that you can focus on to improve your overall health and wellness and routine. Because I think the hardest part about all the different videos, every time you open TikTok, every time you open YouTube, there's someone telling you something different.
Yeah.
And that's why Dan says all the time, he's like, you just need to choose one and follow one.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what has been so helpful for us. Like we chose DIYBODY, we're following DIYBODY, and we've had success with it.
Yeah.
But what, in your opinion, are the things that people can focus on to have the most impact on their routine?
Honestly, like the basics. I think a lot of people don't drink enough water.
Yeah.
So if you increase the amount of water you drink to 3 liters or 4 liters per day, I think that can make a huge difference in just how you feel. I think a lot of people are dehydrated. A lot of people, have a lot of caffeine throughout the day and just forget to drink water. So drinking water, number 1. Number 2, getting enough sleep. So like aim for at least 7 hours of sleep. There's going to be different seasons throughout the year where you're going to have to sacrifice some sleep to accomplish your goals. So that might drop down to 5 hours if you're in a busy season. But, if you are looking to grow, try and get more sleep. And then finally, I'd say meal prep. Just trying to eat out less, try to eat less processed foods, try to make more food at home.
Yeah.
And just doing your meal prep twice per week. That way you've got food to last you the entire week, and not just Monday to Friday, and then the weekends you go off and eat whatever you want. And then depending on your goal, if your goal was to lose weight, then you're just kind of resetting that by over consuming your calories.
Yeah. Because I think that's the biggest thing too. And the biggest learning curve that we've had over the last few years was just how important the diet is. And it doesn't matter. You can be working out so much. You can be the most fit person on the planet, but visually, depending on what your goals are, like it's all diet, and then everything, your recovery, your sleep, how you feel on the inside. Like, as annoying as it is, everyone wants to be able to eat out and enjoy, and there's so many delicious things that are out in the world, but if you want to feel your best, it's like, well,
if you want to feel and look your best, your diet is going to be the main driving force to how you want to look. You can do as much cardio and train as hard as you want, but you can't out-train a bad diet.
And I think that's where I was mistaken for so long, is I was like going and doing ride and spin classes and going to berries and doing all these things and doing my workouts, but then I was like crushing butter chicken every single day, and I had no idea about like the portions. I had no idea about how much protein I should be eating. What I thought I knew about health was so skewed versus when it was like, here, like as tough as it can be to do the nutrient tracking, the macro tracking, like weighing out your food. I know it's kind of a slippery slope mentally, but having that knowledge to start with was so important for me in this whole journey.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't aware of how much food they're consuming per day, and if they're getting in enough nutrients, like are you getting enough protein to support muscle growth?
Yeah.
And if you're not aware and you're just going about your day eating whatever you want, then it's going to make it a lot harder to reach that goal. Yeah. So once you become a little bit more knowledgeable with it, you don't have to do it forever. You don't have to track your food forever, but you need to get yourself to a point where you can start to look at food and know, okay, I'm probably going to get 30 grams of protein from that portion size.
Yeah.
And over time, like you can just start to be a little bit more intuitive with it and you don't have to track forever. But a big first step is becoming aware of it.
And that's what I loved about when I first signed up too, is I did the first 2 months. The first month was like you guys gave the portions and like the exact meal plan. It was like eat this much chicken, this much rice, this much whatever. And then the second month was like having a little bit more freedom to play with the meals, but it's still the same amount. And that was like the most I've ever learned about food and nutrition and portion and everything. And then after that, it has kind of been a little bit of just like, okay, trying to get the protein in, trying to have a good idea of what I'm eating. But one of the good questions, okay, someone had asked, what's more important, tracking your protein or tracking your calories? And overall, I guess in the maintenance, it's like, let's just say you've done your transformation, you've done your before and after, just as a forever thought, is the overall protein more important or the calories? And I thought that was good.
I think they're both equally important. You know, if your goal is to support muscle growth, maintain muscle growth, but also just weight management, because if you've done the transformation and you want to maintain, you just want your calories to be at maintenance, but you also want to be consuming enough protein where you're not losing muscle. So they're both equally as important. They go hand in hand. So I would not put one over the other. They're both extremely important.
And that's like what we were talking about today, where I was like, even the last couple of weeks, like we've been playing a lot of tennis. We've not been doing our workouts, whatever, but I always keep my protein super high. And I feel like it's still there. I'm a little bit puffier than I normally am. And I think that's a lot of the questions, and something that I feel about the most is, like someone said, how to maintain balance after a cut. I miss being lean. And this is something we talk about all the time. That was actually my first question for you when I started training with you, actually, was like, I didn't know what I should be in my maintenance, where it's like, okay, I did my cut. Cool. I was super lean, very unsustainable for long periods of time, for sure. Like, I just wanted to know how to gauge what I should be at. And at the time you had said like 6 to 10 pounds heavier than your cut amount. And I was like, cool. Okay. Yeah. But it's kind of hard to choose between like a normal balanced lifestyle, athletic performance, higher training, whatever, and being in a cut lean state. And obviously you experience that so much with your bodybuilding clients. But I guess you can speak to that more for the lifestyle clients, because that's where I get a little bit lost too.
For anyone that's doing, you know, a lifestyle cut, they finish, they get the transformation that they're looking for. Once they're done the cut, you have to really ask yourself, like, what goal am I wanting to achieve next? If it was to just maintain your current body composition, you know, you can slowly increase your calories, which is called reverse dieting, to a point where, you know, you're still able to minimize the amount of body fat regain from happening and body weight regain from happening. But you have to also come to terms that, is that look really sustainable for me year round? So you have to come to terms with, okay, I might not be that lean, but I'm still going to look great. That's where giving yourself a little bit of a range of, okay, well, if I weighed 130 pounds when I was done my cut, you know, this will probably fluctuate, you know, maybe 6 to 10 pounds, depending on how much time can I dedicate to my fitness at this point. Usually when you're in a cutting phase, you're dedicating more time to getting your steps in, doing cardio, meal prepping. Once you're done your cut, you know, is that going to be sustainable for you to keep up that amount of activity? Or if you were to just slowly pull back a bit, if you're able to still maintain your body composition while doing a little bit less. So there's going to be different seasons throughout the year where you can dedicate more of your time to, you know, looking leaner. And then there's seasons during the year where you're busier and you just have to be okay with maybe doing a little bit less, giving your body a little bit more time to rest. And just allowing yourself to focus on other goals like building more strength, building more muscle. And that is going to come with giving yourself more time to grow. So that would look like eating a little bit more calories and, you know, training a little bit less and doing a little bit less cardio and getting a little bit less steps. But it just depends on what that person's goal is at the end of the day.
What do you tell people when they say they're losing or lacking motivation, which is a hot topic? Lots of questions about that all the time.
So you have to realize that motivation is just like any other feeling, like happy, sad. motivation is just a feeling. So you're not going to be motivated every single day, all day long. I'm often not motivated to do my workouts or eat according to plan. But what I do rely on is my habits and routines and staying very committed and dedicated to my goal. So if my goal is to look great for summer and lose 10 pounds, see my abs, then I need to follow everything to make sure that I'm working towards my goal. Even if I don't feel like working out that day and it's in my schedule, I'm gonna make sure that I get that workout done. Oftentimes you'll surprise yourself. You'll get to the gym, even when you're not feeling motivated, you'll start your workout and you'll feel even better.
Yeah.
So don't rely on motivation, rely on your routine and rely on dedication.
Yeah. And just the discipline overall. And I think for me, the biggest part was I always scrolled and waited to have some magical answer too. I was like, okay, someone's going to tell me the secret sauce. Like, what is the magic going to be? And it never came. And then, you know, for me, a big part of that was outsourcing my kind of like, I would wake up in the day, or I might get to the gym, I've made it there, and I'd be like, I just can't come up with this myself. I needed someone else to kind of hold me accountable. I needed someone, I needed the resource. So I think that's why like group fitness is so helpful, because that kind of removes the thought from it. It's like, you just have to show up. Yep. And that was the same with the workouts, where I know I just have to show up to the gym. I don't have to, it's like I press start on my little DIYBODY app and I just do it. So that part for me was really important, where when I was just left to my own devices, it was so much harder to motivate myself to keep up with that discipline if I had no exterior source kind of relying on whether or not I did it, right?
Yeah, showing up is the hardest part. So if you can get yourself to the gym, then you're like halfway there. Yeah. Another tip that we usually like to give our clients is just having your workout gear ready to go. Like if you're trying to work out after work, try to not go home, because if you go home, you're probably gonna stay there. But if you take your workout gear with you, then you can just head straight to the gym. And once you're there, you're gonna do your workout. If you take pre-workout before your workout, you're not gonna feel like just sitting around. You're gonna feel very jittery, energized, ready to rock.
There's been many a times where we've had our pre-workout and we've sat in the car and we've just not entered the gym. But maybe we needed to take that as a note, so that maybe we just needed more rest that day. And like usually when you're in a routine, it's like, okay, all right, I'm here, it's go time. We're good to go. Yeah. What are some of your top tips for dealing with cravings and or sticking to a meal plan that you are following?
Yeah, so ideally, if your meal plan is set up correctly, it's going to have, a good amount of protein, but also a good amount of fiber. And those are like the two driving forces for keeping you satiated. Protein is great because it stabilizes your blood sugar levels. So if you're consuming a lot of protein throughout the day, you're going to feel satiated. And then eating high volume, low calorie food like vegetables is going to fill your stomach with more volume. You're just going to feel full. Yeah. And that's going to be, one of the key components of being able to do a diet without feeling like you're starving all day. So find ways to curb your hunger cravings. And I think if you take care of your protein intake and getting enough fiber in per day, I'd say you want to aim for about 18 grams of fiber or more per day through fruits, vegetables, complex carbohydrates. You're going to just feel a lot less hungry. If you're able to get all your protein intake from the food you consume, you don't need to take protein powder. But I think a lot of women do struggle to get their protein intake high enough each day that it can benefit them from actually taking protein powder, because in order to get, let's say, 100 grams of protein per day, you're going to have to consume quite a bit of animal protein. If you're plant-based, even more food. So having like a protein powder can be an easy way to just get the food down. You can, add it to your smoothies. You can add it to like your Greek yogurt. Just finding ways to implement that into like baking and cooking. Yeah.
Like I have 2 scoops of protein powder every day. Because like I know that I could and I maybe should eat more like food protein. I feel like I do eat a lot, but it's just the taste. I love the flavor. Can't wait for you to try the blueberry muffin, the goat meal. Guys, like I eat that because I love the taste of it. I know that I could eat an omelet or egg whites or whatever, but that plus the chocolate protein coffee, like that is, I look forward to that every day. It is like my sweet treat, because my protein powder is quite sweet. It's quite sweet. Obviously, if you were looking at the exact ingredients, you could find something cleaner or whatever, but like I eat the protein powder for the taste, the flavor.
When it comes down to it, if you are aware of what you eat, it's going to make your journey towards your goal a lot easier, and you're just going to be able to reach it sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, there were a lot of like personal questions related to the individual asking it, but you know, we're very lucky to have home gyms that we can work from, but we also live near enough where we could go to the gym. I'm not afraid of going to the gym. I know a lot of people are. I never actually thought to ask you this, but do you have programs for people who don't have gyms? Do you do home workout options? Yeah.
I'd say a lot of our lifestyle clients, we have a lot of moms that do our program, and a lot of people don't want to go to the gym just because of the intimidation factor, which is understandable. So if they want to work out at home, like you're going to have some equipment.
Yeah.
Just doing strictly body weight is going to be very difficult to get the muscle stimulus that you need in order to build muscle. So you need some equipment. If you have some dumbbells, a bench, even if you don't have dumbbells, like find ways to get some weight onto your body. Like during COVID, I remember I had to put textbooks into a backpack, which allowed me to utilize some form of resistance.
Yeah.
Because at the time it was impossible to get any gym equipment.
You didn't have this gym during COVID. Totally. Wow.
So you have to find ways to get creative if you're not going to purchase any gym equipment. But I think we're in a place now where it's very available and it's not that expensive. So if you want to train at home and your goals are very important to you, invest in the basics. So dumbbells, an adjustable bench, a pull-up bar, because it's really hard to train your back at home without any equipment.
The bands, obviously.
Some resistance bands would be nice. Yeah. And a barbell and plates if you have a little bit more money to invest. You need some form of resistance where it's not going to make your workouts 3 hours long to try and get some form of stimulus.
Yeah. I know when we first started, like for us during lockdown, we had the Peloton and we had kettlebells.
Yeah.
And that was great. Like I was able to do a lot with that. But definitely like since training with you guys, it's like, actually, you know what? I don't even use the squat rack ever, really. But I have the barbell for the hip thrusts.
Yeah.
It's like the hip thrust is a necessity for me. Like even if I went back to apartment living now, I think I'd have to have like, there'd have to be something for hip thrust because that's also the hardest thing to set up. Like whenever we go to a gym when we're traveling, the first question I ask, do you guys have a hip thrust machine?
Yeah.
Because setting up a hip thrust at a gym otherwise is like so annoying and it takes so much time and it takes up space. So that can be a tough one. That's like a necessity for me. But even the cable machine, like it's a nice to have, but it's not necessary. There's so much you can do with dumbbells.
Yep.
Especially if you're just looking to maintain and like live. If you're not having like PRs and you're overloading the weight so much, it's like, it's okay. But yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know that you guys have the no gym option. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's, I think one of the programs that we make the most is at-home workout programs.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get to a gym, we would highly recommend it because you're just going to have access to more equipment. Yeah. But if you don't feel comfortable in that environment, then at-home workouts, they can be effective if you have some equipment at home.
Yeah, but you've got to have something.
Yeah.
And to that, I would say, obviously, like, I wasn't necessarily concerned about other people at the gym. I was just overwhelmed by the gym because I didn't know what to do. At the end of the day, if you went to a gym and you just made your way through the machines, that can be great. It's better than doing nothing.
Yep.
And then, you know, obviously when we travel, like, a lot of people are like, how do you stay on track when we travel? It's like, we go and do drop-ins at gyms. We look at the hotel gyms that we're staying at. Like if you are committed to it and it's a priority for you, you will make it happen no matter where you are.
Yeah.
And obviously like some people's work schedules can be so crazy, but I think that's what's so nice about the DIYBODY community is seeing how many people have crazy routines, have like a million children at home, they're doing anything and everything, and they still prioritize their health. It's like a big lifestyle adjustment, but that's it. Like people make it happen. So.
Yeah, it comes down to priorities at the end of the day. Like if I go and travel, like what you do, I'm looking at the hotel I'm staying at. Do they have a gym? If not, what gyms are around that I can get a workout in? I actually really like to go to different cities and try out different gyms. It's
like part of the fun now.
Yeah.
You kind of become obsessed. It's honestly like, oh my God, this machine I've never seen before. Like this is so exciting. It's fun.
It's like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
You know? But I love working out and I try to maintain the same same routine as I have at home when I'm traveling. And that way, when I come home, I'm not like trying to get back into the swing of things. It's just very natural because I've been keeping up with my routine. I feel like as soon as you stop doing your routine, it makes it very hard to get back into the swing of things. Like, you know, if you took off the entire Christmas and New Year's and now you're wanting to get back into your workouts, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, which is why we started the Hot Girl Winter in the first place. It was like, you know what, I'm going to start this before because it's really hard to get yourself out of that holiday funk for sure. Okay, guys, I feel like we've covered a lot here today. Don, thank you so very much. Obviously, if there's any other questions, if you guys want a little follow-up later down the road, we might have to come back. We might have to do a little check-in maybe in a couple of weeks and see how we're doing. But yeah, obviously, like Don's an amazing resource and we're so grateful and thankful to the business that you've built because it's helped us so much in our life and obviously so many others. And yeah, we love them. And thank you so much for giving your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was looking at the camera.
When we work out with Dawn and DIYBODY,
And then
this is what we get after.
car backloading.
Wow.
And just like that, Will was gone.
Give me 1 sec. I'm just whipping up a quick little protein coffee. It's so good every time. Really, really, truly. So hi. We're obviously home from Kamloops. You can see our little plastic wrapped living room. The home reno is in full swing. We had a lovely 2 nights quick trip in Kamloops, obviously seeing Dawn, the fam, Megan, the babies, Greg and Clara, other coaches at DIYBODY, and it was so nice after over 2 years of us doing DIYBODY, doing the program, finally going and spending some like good quality time with them and seeing the DIYBODY gym. Like it was just so great. So great, and we're really happy that we finally made that happen because we've been talking to Dawn about meeting up with them and going to visit them for so long, and you know, schedules just, it's tough, and they also just had a baby in October, baby Crew. He's so cute. We were just cuddling him the whole time. He was such a good boy. So yeah, I had such an amazing time with them. Thanks so much to Dawn for doing that, and also thank you so much to so many of you for sending in your questions on Instagram. I know that we have been talking so much about the program, and I've made so many videos on it and talking about it, but I know that there's always still, you know, not everybody watches every piece of content, so I'm trying my best to like answer most of the questions. Obviously, actually, let's just clear this up. A lot of people always ask if we're sponsored by DIYBODY. No, I am not sponsored by DIYBODY. Me and Dan have been paying customers and loved it so much, and I just wanted to share obviously everything about it because I was like, hello, my entire life changed after doing that. And at the end of the day, it is not an inexpensive thing to do, but for us, it was just a lot more affordable than seeing a personal trainer. We liked that hands-off option, and so even though it is a little bit more expensive than your typical just like other fitness app that you pay like $6 a month for or $2 a month for, we really liked having that like customized approach to it, and you're essentially getting the expertise of a personal trainer just without having them physically in front of you. But for me, like the biggest part of DIYBODY was like having the app, and I can literally not have to think about it. I have someone making my workouts for me. I go and press start, and that's it. And then we obviously got the meal plan, and so that has been worth its weight in gold time and time again. And I know not everybody can afford such a thing. Like it was even then, back when I first signed up, I was like, dang, that's a lot. But they offer 4-month programs. They don't do anything less than that. Sometimes they'll run some challenges because, you know, it's a big undertaking. It's not for everybody. Like you have to be really willing to change a lot about your day. It's a big time commitment. It's a big effort commitment. And yeah, it's not going to be for everybody. Some people might want that more hands-on approach. They might want that in-person experience with a personal trainer, but it obviously works for people who have really busy schedules, people who are on their own schedules. Maybe you have a little bit more experience with working out in the past. Yeah, it just kind of depends what you're looking for. But having talked about it for so long, Dawn actually right at the start, when I first posted about my transformation like 2 months in, he was actually so kind, and he had reached out being like, hey, we'd love to get you like signed up as an affiliate if you wanted to make commission. And I was like, honestly, that was so kind of him to offer, but I said no. So for all the haters out there who messaged me saying this is sponsored, no, it's not. And I have never been an affiliate, and I've never made commission. I totally share them because they are a local Canadian company and I love them and we had great success with them. And it has benefited so many people in my life, and also through you guys on the internet too. We've seen so many positive changes. So I was happy to share it. That being said, over this last visit, we were discussing with Dawn, like what's something that we could do. I'd love to be able to offer some kind of discount or something. Maybe we could do our own little challenge. Maybe we could do our own little Hot Girl Winter challenge. We were chatting with him about it and seeing what would kind of be possible. So I'd love to hear from you guys, for those of you who like haven't done DIYBODY, but you've been following closely along with my little Hot Girl Winter journeys. It would also be super fun to work more closely with DIYBODY where I haven't in the past. I've just been sharing my, like totally my personal experience with it. But if I could just like bundle that in, package that in, have a little my version of the program to give to you guys for 2025, you know, new year, new us. Love to talk about it, love to think about it. We would love to do something like that. But we were talking to Don about it. He was super open to any feedback or anything that we wanted to kind of come up with. So I'd love to hear from you guys if that was something you would like to see. Yeah, and we just love them so much. And we were grateful to have that chat with him. So please let us know your thoughts down below. I hope that this Q&A and hearing from Don, the source, the man of DIYBODY himself, was helpful for you guys. And obviously, always, if you have any more questions, if there's any other specific health and wellness related content that you want to see from me, I'm happy to do it. And obviously, over the last couple of years, it's been a big focus for us over here. So yeah, let us know all your thoughts in the comments below, you guys. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video, and we will see you very, very soon for a new one. Bye!